Yeah, hi Michaela and Grit. I just thought I'd do this quickly for the Pergola brackets, just because I'm quite keen to, if we can have a discussion on Wednesday, and then we can lock these in and get them to Neil to make them up, because he did say he'd need about 3 weeks to galvanise, and obviously we need to get them painted. Um, so what I've done is basically that there is the RAB, and behind that's the framing. That's the bracket, which is 200 by 135. We've got the fixings in. Uh, these are the bolted connections. But if we go to coach screws, which most of them are really on the lower section of the pergola, where it bolts into the parapet, um, then this is the secondary flashing plate that will go behind the cladding line to basically to give it a bit more cover around this junction. It will probably also extend up the top as well and down below. I just haven't drawn that for clarity. But then you've got the 135mm plate, and so you've got the bracket, you've got the secondary plate, and then you've got the plate running through. And then basically the next, I'll just unhide that. I'll unhide that, turn that off. So there's your cladding. So that's your cladding over the top of the secondary plate, or the weathering plate as such. Be a nice silicon joint down there. And then what I've drawn here is basically, I'll just unhide all of this so I can show you. So what I'm proposing is to bolt a 135 by 45 Vitex runner, which goes along the entire plate and both sides of the steel plate. I've only just done one side just to show you, but 145 by 45 Vitex bolted to the 135 plate. And then we've got these 135 by 32, or obviously the Vitex, we can decide on what we use. But the way that's connected to that is there'll be a 10mm rebate, and it'll go halfway down. And then this, I'm calling, so this is the ribbon plate, and these are the Vitex fins as such. So just when you go to my email, you'll see what I mean. But yeah, so the ribbon plate's bolted to the plate, ribbon plate on both sides, and then you've got the Vitex fins at your desired centers, rebated into. That'd just be a lot cleaner than I see what you've drawn here as sort of the Vitex fin coming up over the top of the ribbon plate. Yeah, that's a lot easier to do. I just think this option is going to give you a nice sort of frame, and probably also a bit stronger with a 45mm bolted on both sides, as opposed to a smaller plate like this. So that's pretty much it. Now, yeah, so basically my concerns really is this weathering plate. We're going to have to make 35mm, try and keep it to a minimum, because we are using coach screws. We actually have to obviously hit the screw in and then tighten it up, whereas bolts, we could have had the bolt sticking out and then sort of slid the bracket over and then bolted up. Still would have been quite hard actually. So in hindsight, this is actually going to work. So that's just to discuss the issue around the weathering plate or the secondary plate, and then just the methodology of how we get this Vitex working with the plate. I would say we'd want to set it out so we've got two holes sort of every third Vitex fin, so sort of make sure that the two holes that we're fixing the ribbon plate to the steel plate set out as per the centers of these Vitex fins. So you might have one there, and then you might have another one there, and so it goes on. Two fixings, top and bottom. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, let's have a discussion on Wednesday. Thanks, guys. Cheers.